My name's Lucero Vargas. I am in your Tuesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. class, and for the first learning module, I decided to go surfing in Santa Cruz. The question or the prompt is the path of beauty a step towards a life that is more meaningful and connected? Um, Through Plato believes that to be human is to mean a desire to want more and to find the truth. The truth can be metaphysical, physical, mystical, or religious, and uses allegory of the cave. In the cave, there are prisoners. These prisoners are limited to what they can see. There's a fire behind them, and once they're able to leave and able to see the fire, it's painful, it's scary until they reach the outside. It's a slow process. And Plato believes that the real world is illuminated by the light of good. The truth is within ourselves and within our psyche. So I decided to go surfing, and I was a prisoner. I was a prisoner to my own ideas. I thought surfing was for white people, people who went swimming with the sharks. It's pretty much like Monster Soup. Like, what kind of Mexicans go swimming? Or go surfing? I've never heard of them. Not in the valley. When I did hear stories from my parents, they were always terrifying. And then Dr. Higgins presented the idea, and it began to question my own mentality. I never thought I could go surfing. Like, what? That's an option for me? And apparently it was. And I was scared. Like, for me, that was the fire. It was the fire that started all this questioning for me. The booking, the drive was terrifying. Initially getting into the water was terrifying. It was like painful. I was really anxious. And once I was outside of the cave and in the water with the view, it was beautiful. It was relaxing. I would look at my instructor and he was chill. He looked like a little puppy just waiting for the waves, so calm and relaxed. And it made me feel at ease. And it was an interesting view to see. While Keltner believes in the power of awe, in amazement, the connection to something greater than self. Awe can be an experience in nature or moral. The awe leads to vanishing the self, the default state of individualism, control, and competition. This feeling of awe can transform and change that default state, increase feelings of empathy, reduce anxiety by quieting the self-critical voice. Once I was in the water, I was observing, feeling the waves. I couldn't believe that I was in the water, that I was in the ocean. I was in complete awe of everything around me. All the stress of school and work gone. The waves would crash and then I'd fall and I'd laugh. I was just enjoying myself. This moment changed my perception of myself and of the ocean completely. Like, this moment of awe, like my whole idea of the ocean completely changed. And then The Wild is about Cheryl Stray, who looks down at her mom, Bobby, for her way of life, even though her mom granted her unconditional love. After her mom's death, she becomes a drug addict, engages in sex with strangers for drugs, destroys her marriage, hits rock bottom, and is pregnant, and decides to go on the trail, on the Pacific Coast Trail. And her mom, Bobby, lived by two different quotes. I will not apologize for who I am, and you can put yourself in the way of beauty. So Bobby encourages Cheryl to live a life with optimism, love, forgiveness, and regardless of hardships, and to find the beauty in the little things that life gives. I agree with this statement. It's the belief system my parents taught me, and for a time I lost sight of it, and I truly felt hatred for my dad in a specific moment, despite his unconditional love for me. My dad and family tried to place me in the path of beauty, and it wasn't till I began living my life that I was able to see it again. So on the surfing trip, I took my parents with me, and like Cheryl going through the pain, she loses her toenails and I lose feeling of my arms because the paddling was so difficult and it was hard to keep my chest up. But I did it, and as I paddled out and saw the beautiful ocean, I would turn back and saw my parents. their unconditional love and their support. They were there for me. As the trip ended, my parents thanked me for including them into my plans and spending time with them. They reflected on their peers and felt that many older Hispanics were not involved with their children this way. So the trip to the ocean made me face the flames of fear and confront my prisoner ridiculous ideas of monster soup. Put me in a moment of awe to observe the ocean, the surf guide, and my family. And like the wild, I found myself in the path of beauty. I got to remember what my parents taught me and solidified our relationship. So I'd say that the path of beauty is a step towards a life that is meaningful and connected.